husband, my daughter was only 5 years old. So it really became a passion of mine to be able to find ways that are not stigmatizing and are not judged so we can talk about mental health, mental wellness, brain illnesses openly and honestly.
And so the idea was, how do we bring an exhibit to life that helps youth process their emotions and talk about their emotions? And so we started thinking about, what changes all the time? And the weather changes all the time. And our emotions change all the time too, right? Some people feel rain's very soothing. Others might feel anxious when they hear the rain. So we're trying to connect weather and emotions to help kids process that.
When it first came together, there's a lot of parties. So the Children's Museum's obviously been hands-on, I Understand's been hands-on. We've been working with META4MAT that does kind of our exhibit design. We found a new community partner in CARNEVALE who was a software design, but we met them and they immediately understood the mission. They said what we were trying to do.
We have a grief station where kids and guests can write a memory to a loved one, write it on a balloon shape, and then send it up into a wind tunnel, and it gets caught in an acrylic cloud and it'll float right there. We have mindful movements where users and guests will come in and they'll learn how to do yoga poses and learn to breathe while learning about the weather. Then we also have the sound cloud, which is a very immersive experience. Guests will be able to go in there and change the cloud lights, change the cloud sounds, and then correlate them to different emotions. And then we have the affirmation mirror, which guests will stand at and read affirmations. And then we also have emotional storytelling. That's a really cool piece where guests can go and select a story, an event, and then they can change the weather to indicate how they feel.
When I was little, if I were to interact with technology exhibits like that, I would probably think that they were super cool and wondering how it worked and stuff. I hope it sparks their curiosity and their creativity, etc., and to see more advanced technology like that in Grand Rapids, and specifically the Grand Rapids Children's Museum.
Everything is in service to the experience that the people using the exhibits have. Everything was built through that lens. So when the CARNEVALE team would design an element that was interactive, we would then concern ourselves in how to build it best.
Seeing kids interact with this stuff is really, really cool. Probably my favorite part because it was really for them. The vision is to help children be able to engage with these exhibits so that they can better talk about and communicate their emotions. So seeing the actual kids engage with the actual end product, I think, was my favorite part of the whole thing.
We did everything we could to make sure that any child who came and experienced the exhibit could experience that equitably, so be able to feel included throughout the entire experience while there. Anywhere we have information that's text or audio, we have English and Spanish. And we have English and Spanish Braille, and we made sure that we had good color contrast. So we really were very intentional about making the entire experience as accessible as possible to as many children as possible.
There's a passion of mine to bring this conversation to everyday places, to normalize it, and especially at young ages, because the suicide rate from ages 10 to 34 is suicide is the second leading cause of death. And suicidal ideation is starting as young as 5 years old.